Hello. Hi. Sorry, I'm just trying to turn on the live on TikTok. And I screwed up a little because I keep forgetting that my like main page is locked out of lives. So I just keep forgetting that I need to like do this all in advance because I'm very bad at that type of stuff. Um, as you know, I'm so good at this type of stuff. How are you guys doing? How is everyone's evening? Hi, fella. Hi, Ian. Let me do this. I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put my phone over here and have it like hold on to the thing. So I'm over here giving my dad lots of crap because he loves coming to my apartment and like I do things around, or like he thinks he's like helping me clean. But in reality, what he does is he just comes into my place and he just like moves things. So he like folds stuff and like it's very nice. It's very nice. It's helpful. But also he like folds things and he just like sort of like moves things around. Hi Glacian. Also wait, let me like one sec. Oh yeah, that's what. So yesterday when I was doing when I was doing the live on TikTok, I was like, why is my screen so dark? And then I realized that it's because my brightness is all the way down. And I didn't want to do it in the middle of the live because it stops the live. And so I just did it now because I remembered. But so what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So my dad comes in and he like likes to like fold things and like, I don't know, he will be like talking on the phone and then he'll like grab the vacuum cleaner and he'll start like vacuuming and all this stuff. It's just, he just does things. And it's like super cold in my apartment the past couple of days. And so because it's an old Polish building, it has those like old heater radiators, right? They're like these like things that like they're literally water pipes that come out of the wall. And you can increase the water flow or decrease the water flow, and that's how the apartment gets warmer or hotter. But also there is a heat control system in the kitchen that like basically regulates how hot the water gets in these heaters. And every time my dad comes over, he opens the thing in the kitchen to check like how high it is set to. And so I like to put it in the middle and he likes to put it at 1/4. And so it's been getting colder in the past couple of weeks. And so like a quarter doesn't cut it like at all. And so I've been wondering why it's so goddamn cold here. And I check my freaking heater thing in the kitchen. And my God, my dad decreased the radiator heat to like almost minimum. And I'm like, sir, I am freezing. I am wearing a thermal layer and then I'm wearing a sweatshirt. You know why? Because I've been wondering, why do I keep like making the radiators exude more heat and it doesn't do anything? Hi, Joe. Thank you. In the thermostat war, yes. Well, this is not even a thermostat. Like this is an old school thermostat. Thank you, Sandberg. But yeah, so this was like this is just I'm just like, why you do this? Why you do this? Why couldn't you just tell me? And I just messaged him and I was like, hey, did you do this? And he was like, no, I was just looking, but I'm pretty sure he did that like a week ago. And it kept perpetually getting colder and colder. So it finally reached like a level where it's too cold and the batteries can't handle it. Hi, Yulia. Don't tell Rick I'm watching your stream. Why? Why? Well, now you make me want to tell. Oh, because it's a Sunday and he's right. Because he's also on stream. Oh, I forgot that. I forgot that it's a Sunday. Oh no. But he's been streaming for like 4 hours now. Rick has been streaming for like 4 hours. Oh my gosh, that is a whole lot of ice cream cones. Well, so hi Martin, good to see you. Also, hi Prexis, hi Taz, hi Juju, hi Ian. Who am I missing? Hi Grumpy, hi Tara. um, Tim for Rick to time for Rick to take a break. Hi Gord, and hi Carlos. If I missed anyone, please do let me know. I went to a really cool park today. So there is a park right outside of Lviv, and it's near like a resort, I guess. And so they have sculptures there. I donated to Rick. It's fine. I mean, hey, listen, you watched. You also stayed for a lot of the stream. He started streaming at 7 p.m. Right, so he's been streaming for almost 5 hours. Hi, Chad. Hi, Rebecca's. But so I went to this really cool. Oh my gosh, hi Shay. Oh my god, hello. Oh, that's so cool. Hi Kurt. I barely ever catch you on live, so it's really good to see you. Hi Matthew. Oh my gosh, hello everyone. Hi Lauren. Yeah, so so I went to this like little sculpture park near Lviv, and this sculpture park it's really cool. So it's near this resort, and it's just basically this like open air, really large field space, and there are sculptures everywhere, just outdoors on the grass, and it's a really cool area, and it's very dog friendly. So there's no one there today too, because it's middle of the winter, so who's going to go to an outdoor sculpture park? Thank you, Sandberg. And oh, Martin, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. That's very sweet of you. Oh, it's so sweet. Thank you so much. Oh, hi, Kristen. And hi, Dawn. So yeah, so it's this like sculpture park. And I'm getting lost. There's so much happening on screen. But so yeah, there are sculptures outdoors. It's the middle of the winter, so it's not like anyone but me and my aunt was going to see the sculptures. But we did. And it was like a very, very nice, pleasant experience. And they also have an exhibition there of from Tripilla. So Tripilla was like a culture, 500. Oh, thank you, Chad. Thank you for the car. Oh my gosh. So many things happening on the screen. Thank you. That was really cool. Oh, hi, John. Hello. So Tripilla was a culture that lived in the territory of Ukraine. It was a tribe that lived on the territory of Ukraine 500 years, like 500 BC, basically. And it was very interesting because they have an exhibition of their art and their sort of ceramics and pottery that was recovered by archaeologists, and they were able to restore a lot of the vases and a lot of the objects, and it was so interesting to see because first of all, in a lot of tattoos and in a lot of stuff like that, people very often use like Chinese symbols, or they use, I don't know, like Nordic symbols and stuff. And while Tripilla is not necessarily where our culture comes from, but it existed on our territory, and they had a lot of their own symbolism, similar to that of like, Nordic symbolism and stuff that was like very meaningful and that was put in their pottery and vases. And it was really cool to first of all see. I kind of want to get a book of all of their symbolism now. And another thing is, so the vases all had a lot of like decorations, and hi Paul, and a lot of sort of different patterns and things like that. So you could tell that people were making these household objects, but they weren't just making them for use, right? They were decorating them. And like, that's 500 BC, guys. That's like, really cool. And so so that was like a very, very cool thing to see. And also, not only did they restore a lot of these objects, they also kept some of them just in pieces and parts how they found them, to sort of show what the archaeologists would discover. And honestly, they just kind of look like these dusty pieces of nothing that or like just broken pieces of vases that are dusty. And then if you could see sort of how amazing they look when they're polished and when they're restored, it's crazy to see that change. And there is a specific sort of sculpture of a woman that's a very that prevails kind of among their art a lot. And so it's very obvious too that they were super interested in feminine forms, and like a lot of sort of like small waists and large hips things were a big part of their art. And so there is a sculpture of a woman that is, you know what, I'm going to try to find it for you so I can show it to you. I mean, I didn't take pictures, I was just so mesmerized. But I want to show you, I want to try and find it online. Oh yeah, to kind of show you what these vases look like, because it's actually really, really cool. So this is sort of what the vases are like. See, they have decorations and patterns on them. Привет. Oh, hi, lost one. Hi, Maria. And Sandberg, thank you for all the ice creams. I do have the ice cream in my fridge, and haha, how funny asking about yourself as the Aussie and calling yourself cool. But I want to find you this. Oh yeah, here. So this is sort of like this sculpture. This, wait, let me show it on TikTok first, and then I'll like do it so that you can see it on YouTube well. So basically, this is like a sculpture of a woman that kind of like is very often seen in a lot of their art. And they would just have these sculptures made, and they would just like stand places, or they would have them on like ropes as like a necklace. And I really like it. It's really cool because it's a very cool shape, and it's, you know, it's really a little necklace that looked like that. But so it was on a rope, not on a chain, and it was very fragile too. So I thought that if I were to get it, I would probably break it fairly easy. But yeah, so it was really cool. No, I didn't, John. Not yet. I will at the end, but not yet. But yeah, oh my gosh. Yulia pinned the link. Oh yes. Good idea, Taz. Your lives make me late for work. No, that's not good. Don't be late for work. That's not good. But yeah, so it was a very interesting experience. For those of you who just joined, I was talking about an exhibition I went to, and there is this like park with sculptures right near Lviv, in like next to a little resort. And Cindy was having a lot of fun running around because it was like an open field and she was unleashed. And then there is also an exhibition in like a building there, and this exhibition is of Tripilla pottery and ceramics, sort of like Herojem Slava, sort of like household objects. And Tripilla was a culture that existed on the territory of Ukraine in 500 BC, which is super, super cool. And it's crazy to think about it because, again, like I know that I keep saying this, but like think about this. People made this in 500 BC, and they made decorations on top of these household objects. And, you know, so it sort of shows that there was this like element interest things, and you know, and sort of not fashion but like art, and they had their symbolism, and a lot of these symbols prevail over a lot of their works, and you can see them across a lot of these works and across a lot of these objects, and it's just like it's really cool. And also there was I think actually Anastasia took a picture of me on this phone, but no, it was not. It was on the other phone. Oopsies. But so basically, there was another example there, and it was of a Ukraine, and it was called something about trees. It's something like the life within the trees or something, and it was just like decorated really nicely. There were all of these. There were all of these really nice tree branches everywhere and parts of trees, and there were all of these paintings and artworks that this man created that kind of resembled trees, and it was mostly abstract and geometric, but also very cool. I don't know, it's very So me and Anastasia, we love going to art museums. So she is a motion picture animation professor. She's an artist, and I love art. So every time we travel somewhere together, we always, and usually for the past like 9 years, it's been her visiting me, obviously, because I couldn't leave the US. And we would always go to these art exhibits in, like if we would go to LA, we would go to the art museum and art museums in LA. Heroям Slava. And we would go to art museums in New York and basically everywhere we'd go. And it was really, really, really cool to be in an amazing art gallery or like an art museum in Ukraine with her and see sort of like the same quality of art exhibits in Lviv, but also by Ukrainian artists. And I don't know how to express to you why this is so cool, but it's a lot. It has a lot to do with the fact that when I did move out of Ukraine, Ukraine was nowhere near what it is right now, and I could never imagine that we would have these like cool art exhibits, especially of like phenomenal Ukrainian artists that would be done in such a like amazing style, and they would look no worse than the MoMA or the Guggenheim or the oh my gosh, what's it, LACMA. It's just really, really awesome to have that experience here. So I thought it was really cool, and I really want I really, really want for Kyiv or Lviv to have like larger museums of modern art. And I would really want, I really hope that we keep developing in this direction. And I really hope that it just keeps going up and that our artists will be more recognized worldwide. And, it's just like, it's something I really love to do with her. And it was really, 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 really cool and a very pleasant experience to be able to do that with her here. So yeah. Also, back when Moscow was a swamp, no one wanted to live near because it stank. Well, I mean, it's also probably because they just have been, they have been, at least they, it seems like they have been like stealing people's cultures and traditions and stuff for the past couple of 100 years. So maybe that no one wanted to live near. Also, wait, is anyone else experiencing issues on YouTube with sound? Let me know. If you are, do let me know, but I don't know if I can actually fix it efficiently. Okay, also here. Do let me know. Isn't Russia still a swamp? Yeah, it is. Just a bit better now. Okay, that's weird. Because it's the same setup that I always have. Maybe it's because of the internet. Maybe the Wi-Fi fantastically right now. That could be a thing. It was a connection issue. Yeah, that makes sense. The sound cut off from time to time, but it lasts about half a second when it happens. Oh, sounds fine to me. Small stutters every now and then, been happening the last couple lives. Oh, interesting. So I'm gonna try to set up the mic for the next live, so so this doesn't happen. Okay, hi Odin, good to see you. Yeah, stuttering a bit. I blame Russia. I blame Russia for everything. Also because I just received an alert that shaheeds that were going towards Kyiv are now going towards Rivne, and so they're so yeah. Are you on Starlink? No, I don't need Starlink because I'm in Lviv, and usually there aren't just like random Starlinks in bigger cities because you do get connection. Starlinks are mostly located near the front lines, and it's mostly soldiers, not civilians, that use them. I mean, there are some individual civilians that buy Starlinks and install them in their house, but in Lviv, we, I just use my regular like internet provider. I don't need a Starlink. Also in Kyiv, in Kyiv as well. Air raid alarms. No, so no air raid as of yet, but there probably will be one in a couple of hours or in an hour or so. Connection issue. Oh, also, do you have a lot of apps open on your phone? Close some. So no, I actually don't have anything open on my phone at the moment, but I'm streaming from my computer, so it shouldn't affect anything really. Oh, you mean like internet because they're like in the background using the internet? I mean, oh, actually, I do. I thought that I've closed everything today, and then like I guess I've opened a bunch more because I remember I was closing stuff in the morning. Good advice. Something. Oh, so as some of you know the numbers on my computer, no, not much is open on this side. To be honest, I don't often have a lot of stuff open on my computer, but I'll close the few bits that I do have. Maybe I'll be able to. Maybe it'll help. Oh, also. So Adobe has this like new beta program called Adobe Podcasts, and so you like one has to request access, and we did a while ago, and so we got approved like a few weeks ago. So I can't wait to use it. Is your modem plugged into the modem directly, or are you connected through Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi. I'm connected through Wi-Fi, and I cannot. Do not make me try to do that. I'm so bad with that. But so before I forget with my ADHD, but as a lot of you know, Taz, one of the moderators, is from Lithuania, and Lithuania does this super cool fundraiser. They did that last year, and it was for radars. It's called Radarom. And this small little country of 2.7 or 2.9, please correct me so I stop saying 2.7 or 2.9 million, and I just say what is the actual amount of people that lives in Lithuania. So they collect donations for Ukraine, and this year, in the 5 days that the fundraiser has been running, they've already collected €1,083,000, which is enough for protection kits for about 155 soldiers. And this fundraiser has been running since January 24th and will be running till February 24th for the 10th anniversary of Russia's invasion into Ukraine. And they'll be getting protection kits for soldiers such as thermal imagers and like thermal optics. And Taz helped me out here, but that was a really cool kit when Taz was explaining it to me. Speaking of fundraisers, we are also I am also still fundraising drones for 3rd Separate Assault Brigade. If you are on TikTok, you have that link in the link in bio, or you can just donate straight to my PayPal if you donated before, or Venmo. And we are at, so I checked today, and we are at $4,600 even. Well, $4,603 and some cents. So basically $4,600. So we are about $400 away from 5,000, which is 2 drones out of 6. And if you would like to donate through YouTube, then you have the link pinned right there in the link in bio. In the pinned link in the comments. And if you wanted to donate on TikTok, then you have it right in the link in bio, or Grumpy sends it to the chat once in a while. But it's actually a very easy link to remember. It's beacons.ai/fundraiser. Oh, that's awesome. So we just got a $73 donation, which brings us to $4,676. You know what? I'm just gonna write it down here too, so I have it on both, and I don't have to, I don't have to remember it in my head, because that's not good. So it's going to be $4,676. Oh yeah, no worries. Hey, whenever, we still have so many drones to fundraise for. So, all donations are welcome at any point and are very helpful. And there is no time limit on them. So, uh, personal anti-drone kit, night vision monocular site. Yeah, so Taz just updated me on what Radarum is buying, and it's personal anti-drone kits, night vision monoculars, and laser sights. Or laser sight for soldiers, and they can supply at this point, or last time that Taz let us know, was you know what? Let me open it, and I'll tell you exactly how much they've raised and as of what time, because Taz does this really cool thing where he actually sends it to our mod chat every couple of hours. So as of 7:50 p.m., Radarum collected 1,082,100 euros, and that's enough to supply, 144 Ukrainian soldiers. Wait, so this is in Lithuanian, and I just realized it's in Lithuanian, and I was like, wait, Ukrainos karius is Ukrainian soldiers or defenders? What is karius? That's such a cute word. And then it says kartu, so it's together, right? Kartu means together. Oh, cool. Karius is soldiers. Hi, Veronica. So cool. I'm learning Lithuanian little by little. Literally learned 2 words, and I already forgot how to say soldier. Wait, it's karius. Okay, or karius. Karius. I don't know. I tried. Okay. Are we ready to start the news? Are we? You can't learn Lithuanian on Duolingo, which is so sad. Yeah, but I feel like Lithuanian would be a very, very, very difficult language for Duolingo. English version of that is bugged, so I took Lithuanian one. Gotcha. Okay, so according to the Washington Post, Moscow is allegedly attempting to undermine the global financial system by diminishing the dollar. European intelligence, reportedly citing documents from the Security Council of the Russian Federation, reveals that over the past 2 years, the Kremlin has conducted meetings to discuss strategies for reducing the dollar's role as the world's reserve currency. Yes, wherever you are. What do you mean? The stated objective is to dismantle the post-World War II global financial system and diminish Washington's influence. A document dated April 3rd, 2023, emphasizes the creation of a new world order, opposing the structure imposed by Western countries, particularly the United States. Another document, attributed to Secretary of the Security Council Patrushev, advocates for expanding cooperation between China and Russia in artificial intelligence, cyber systems, and the internet. It suggests the creation of a new financial system and a Eurasian digital currency, utilizing alternative payment systems like blockchain. The declared aim is to bypass Western dominance in global financial transactions. Well, so here's the thing. First of all, the blockchain situation, like cryptocurrencies and trying to make cryptocurrencies like an international currency that would somehow bypass the dollar or substitute the dollar is kind of like a dumb idea. And that's because it only exists online. So if you don't have access to the network, or the internet goes down, or there is a glitch or something, that's it. You don't have the money, or you can't use the money. It's worthless. It's useless. And that's the issue with it. You can't really like control it. It's also decentralized, right? So you can't enforce it really. And it's really, the value of how much money you have varies every day and varies month by month. So you can't really use crypto as like a currency that would substitute the dollar. Also, sure, maybe these countries can agree to it, right? They can agree to using that between themselves, but they can't use it anywhere else. Like, for instance, sure, like Argentina and Brazil may trade with Russia using this stupid cryptocurrency idea, but they're not going to be able to use that to trade with virtually anyone else. So it's still not going to bypass the dollar because it's really not going to like change. It's not going to change how the world operates. And so these countries between themselves might use this currency, but they're still going to have to use the dollar if they're trading outside of their little union and there are not enough countries in it to make a difference, you know? So it's kind of like, nice plan. The fact that they have been working on it for 2 years and the one thing they came up with is cryptocurrency is just good luck with that. Also, Jason says good luck, about 3 billion hours of software development needed. And Jason works in cybersecurity, so you know he knows what he's talking about. Also, you know, guys, here's my little qualm with you. You know, I have a qualm with you. I'm kidding, but like only 50%. So you know how Sandberg over here came in and was like, "Oh, how was that Aussie? He was cool." You know, he was talking about himself and he was just like being, you know, sassy. But here's the thing. So when Sandberg appeared on lives, you guys were commenting so much, and you were commenting on the videos after the fact, and you were just like loving him, you know? And then now that he's gone and he was only there for like 2 minutes yesterday eating cake, no comments. You know, likes went, the likes of stream, the stream likes went down. Comment interactions went down, you know. I understand I'm disappointing and I'm not an Australian who says nor and sore and stuff like that. And I don't add R's to vodka and to, yeah, to to all of these things. And I get it. I'm not wearing, you know, military uniform and I'm not defending Ukraine with my blood, sweat, and tears. But like, Jesus Christ, you guys. Way to freaking tell me how much you dislike me and how much more you like an Aussie rummaging in the background. It's not his pictures, trust me. Yes, eat more cake. Well, he's gone. He's gone to the front, and you know, he's not going to be rummaging in the background. So you're going to have to deal with me. So you have to pretend like you like me. You know, you have to pretend like you enjoy watching this stream. Hi, Aussie. Well, I mean, you know, the other Aussie. Hey, we still have one more Aussie in the chat. Yeah, but you know, he's not on screen. To be fair, like I will say, you know, he did provide a lot of entertainment, and he did answer questions very well. I mean, it was a very interesting stream. We want buff Yulia back. He's not buff Yulia. He's like a man literally twice my size. Oh, thank you, Martin. I really appreciate that. And thank you, Navi. And thank you, Mark. See, everyone is so nice now. Yeah, but hello everybody, so good to see you. I'm assuming that Rick had just finished his stream, right? Because a lot of you are showing up. Oh my gosh. Also, you know what I've noticed ever since, like, so my my only source of native English speaking, like, that I could hear in the past week has literally been Sandberg. And in my head, I keep like, you know, when I'm about to say something, like I think about it, right? And in my head, it sounds American, or like, sorry. And I'm trying to like say it with my normal American accent, but in my head, all I keep hearing is like nor and sore and car and like all of this stuff. And so it screws with me so much, because when I'm thinking about the words I want to say in my head, I'm just thinking this like ridiculous Australian accent. And like, then I'm saying them with my American accent, and then it's like a clash of what I'm hearing in my head versus what comes out, and then I'm just like, I don't know how to speak English anymore. Thank you, Mariana. That's really sweet. So yeah, so soon I'm just gonna start saying RK and and vodka and idea, and that's just what's gonna end up happening. It's rubbing off already. Oh my gosh, it was rubbing off. I'm sorry. At some point, I was asked, "What do you want to have for brekkie?" And I was like, "It's time for you to leave, sir. It is time for you to leave." Because I've never heard anyone use brekkie unironically. You know, I've never heard anyone use brekkie unironically, or like when people just say it in America to be like, "Oh, it's for brekkie," but they're just like being funny, and that was not ironic. It was unironic, and I was just like, I don't know how to react to this. There were a couple of words that I just, first of all, you know how we in America say throw another shrimp on the Barbie as a joke? They don't say shrimp. They call them prawns. Prawns. I've never heard anyone use prawn like in actual speech. It's shrimp. No. Also, this Australian person does not like seafood, which I just give up. They're just not a real Australian. I don't know how they lived on an island. Got to hit him with the Valley Girl English. I tried. He just sat there with his ears closed, and I thought he was gonna start screaming. Just so making drones for Ukraine and Lithuania, real consideration or just talks? I mean, it is not just talks, but I don't know how. Okay, so here's what Taz is asking. I'm going to read it for those of you who don't see. He's asking, hi, John. He's asking, so making drones for Ukraine and Lithuania, real consideration or just talks? So it's definitely not just talks, but I would say that it's at a very early stage to know if it's like a real consideration or if it's just throwing ideas around. So I would advise to wait a little bit on them before making any sort of conclusions. Obviously, it'd be a very convenient thing for Ukraine, and it's also a really great idea. But then again, we don't know how realistic it is. And I think it's at the stage of just throwing ideas around and seeing if it sticks, if it's possible to accomplish. They'll obviously try to see if that could happen. So it's not just talk, but I wouldn't say. I don't know if it's a real consideration as of yet. Ukraine has a program to make 7-inch drones at home, continuing this or more industrial. No, I mean, so here's the thing. Yes, Ukraine has quite a few programs, and Ukraine is trying to civilians in Ukraine is trying to involve civilians in, understanding how military works. There are drone operation courses that people can now take. They're very popular. So we are obviously trying to bring those military things to everyday households so people know how to make them and how to operate them, and people could learn engineering and help the effort from home. But it's still going to be more industrial. Obviously not not going to this is not something that can take off into a real production. So yeah, scientists from the Ukrainian station Akademik Varnatsky have captured a rare natural phenomenon, snow rolls. They explain that snow rolls, also known as snow squirrels, can attain diameters of up to 0.5 meter. While this phenomenon is not exclusive to Antarctica, it remains relatively uncommon even there. These snow donuts form when various weather conditions align: 2 distinct layers of snow, frozen and fresh, temperatures near the melting point, and specific wind patterns and slopes. So, okay, so these are the things. See, there's snow donuts. You can see them here, and then I'll show them to you a little closer. So here they are again. Here's what they look like up close, which I think is really cool. Okay, let me try and show this better. And yeah, this is what they look like. Oh, here. This is what they look like, which is really cool. And it's a rare phenomenon. And it looks really, really cool. Snow donuts. Cindy would love that. Cindy really, Cindy likes ice and like snowballs. So I think she would love these. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz is set to visit the US on February 9th, as announced by the White House press service. The statement outlines that during a face-to-face meeting, Scholz and Joe Biden will reaffirm their strong support for Ukraine in defending its land and people from Russia's aggressive act. The leaders will also address initiatives to prevent regional escalation in the Middle East, endorse Israel's right to self-defense, and emphasize the necessity of increasing vital assistance while aliens in Gaza. The message further notes that President Biden and Chancellor Scholz will coordinate their actions in anticipation of the NATO summit in Washington. Yeah, so I mean, I don't necessarily want to comment on that because it does seem like it's very Israel and Gaza centric, and that whole situation has just been such a mess. Now, Israel today accused a UN organization of aiding Hamas's attack on Israel in October, and a lot of countries have sort of refused to work with that organization. So there have been a lot of like accusations and things happening. And as you might know, there have been so many war crimes committed, and there has been just so much going on with Israel and Gaza. And I really, I normally try not to comment on it because it's just, there is just so much going on. And I think, it's such a complicated situation and such a screwed up situation because Ukraine is very often compared to Gaza or like Palestine, and the war is often compared to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And it's so not right because these are two such different situations and there is zero reasons to compare them. And it's also like incredibly upsetting for Ukrainians to be compared because we don't have a terrorist organization in charge, and we have never attacked the territory of Russia, for whatever reason it would be. We would never like targeted civilians in Russia, and we never retaliated or whatever in like slaughtering Russian civilians or committing like atrocious war crimes. Palestine compared to Gaza, WTF? No, sorry, Ukraine compared to Gaza or Palestine in general. It's an accurate comparison because the history is so different. So it's just one of these things where I really, it pisses me off that that Ukraine is often brought up as like a talking point between Gaza and Israel, and it's very screwed up because it's not reasonable, and it's also not a joke. You can't just like bring up Ukraine point about Palestine and use Ukraine just to illustrate whatever it is that you believe in, because it's not a joke. It's a war. And first of all, wars like that should never be compared because that takes away nuance from both. So there is that. But yeah, it just really like It really hurts me. I try to avoid the topic of Israel and Gaza online because every time I go into the comments, it's always like it's so fucked up, but it's always about Ukraine, and it's like Ukraine in a negative light, and so I just I can't do it. I keep up with it to know what's going on, but I try not to talk about it because I think like what ends up happening is I just hear a lot of really like dirty stuff about Ukraine, and I have enough and I hear enough talking about Ukraine that I don't want that side of like psyops and misinformation because I just can't handle it. It's too much. So there is that. But yeah, also, I don't know if you guys have heard it today, but Hungarian, what I think it was not prime minister, but like the minister of foreign affairs or something, said that if Russia wins the war with Ukraine, Hungary should take back the Carpathians. And it's like, oh, only if Russia wins? You don't want to try right now? What, are you scared? Like, what's going on? Why is it that if Russia wins the war, only then you want to place a claim on Ukrainian lands that you consider could go back to Hungary or could go to Hungary because they were occupied by Hungary at some point? Why is it that only if Russia wins, you're placing that claim? Any reason? The Finnish government has established a working group to examine the potential prohibition of Russians purchasing real estate in the country, as reported by Yle. The group is expected to conclude its work by the end of March, according to Defense Minister Antti Hakianen. He stated that the evolving security situation in Finland necessitates reinforcing legislation related to the acquisition of real estate by non-EU and non-European Economic Area citizens. So yeah. Because they're in bed with Russia. Yeah, so sorry. So the guy who said that was the leader of the extreme far right party in Hungary, but also I don't know what's not extreme right in Hungary. Orban is a dictator, and I do believe that most of Hungarian government believes that Ukraine owes Hungary this territory and that they can just dictate what Ukraine should do and should not do on that territory and what we're allowed and not allowed to do. And they constantly use the Hungarian minority to justify their horrendous actions towards Ukraine. So potato. British supermodel Naomi Campbell graced the March issue of British Elle magazine, showcasing a jacket from a Ukrainian designer. The runway icon was photographed in a black fluffy Torisheu dress, accessorized with a jacket from Lutkovska. Lutkovska is a very, very nice high-end designer from Ukraine. The featured jacket, named Kikimora from the Rebirth collection, boasts a distinctive sleeve adorned with haystack. This unique piece made its debut at Paris Fashion September. Yeah, so this is the jacket in question. So see the haystack. So Lutkovska is a very popular high-end designer from Ukraine. She has a lot of really beautiful pieces. I really like a lot of her designs, but they're like, they're very expensive. I think probably like, I don't know, like $1,000 jacket or something, or maybe $700 jacket, but so not your average price point. So yeah. The Netherlands has joined the IT coalition for the cyber protection of Ukraine, making an initial contribution of 10 million euro. Look at that. Alongside the Netherlands and Ukraine, 10 other countries are part of this initiative: Belgium, Great Britain, Denmark, Estonia, Iceland, Italy, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, and Japan. These nations are providing support to the Ministry of Defense and the Armed Forces of Ukraine in the area of IT communications and cybersecurity. German Defense Minister Pistorius stated that he currently perceives no risk of a Russian attack on the country, but emphasized that, but that's it for now. Yeah, we were talking about it in a previous stream where I was saying that European countries realize that there is a potential of something uh, of Europe being in trouble and Europe facing a war with Russia. And if Ukraine falls, so obviously, they're going to do everything that they can to avoid that. And sure, while Russia is losing in Ukraine or while Russia is not doing well in Ukraine, there is no threat of a Russian invasion into Europe, but an overall threat is there. So it's sort of like, it's not fear mongering, but it's good to be over prepared rather than under prepared in case that does happen, in case something does happen. May all your dreams come true today. Thank you. That's very sweet. Thank you, Philip. Liquidation of a fire at an industrial facility continues in the Kremenchuk district because Russia has been targeting Kremenchuk in the past 3 days incessantly. The head of the regional military administration reported that 2 ballistic missiles were aimed at the city. There is currently no information about the injured. 18 years ago, on January 27th, Poltava witnessed the destruction of the last of 60 Ukrainian Tu-22M3 bombers and 423 Kh-22 missiles as part of the agreement on the elimination of strategic nuclear weapons and weapons of mass destruction. Ukraine had transferred these missiles to Russia along with the Tu-22M3 as payment for gas debts. However, Russia did not accept all the bombers for gas debts, leaving only those in poor condition. Consequently, Ukraine was compelled to destroy them independently. Ironically, these very models of bombers are now being used by Russian forces in attacks on Ukraine with the Kh-22 missiles. It's noteworthy that shooting down these supersonic missiles poses a considerable challenge for conventional Ukrainian air defense systems. So on January 27th, 18 years ago, Ukraine destroyed our last, Tu-22s and Kh-22 missiles, which we had 423 of at the time. And we had 60 TUs. And that was, according to, thank you, Christine, to the agreement that on denuclearizing Ukraine and destroying Ukraine's weapons of mass destruction. And we transferred those weapons to Russia, and now Russia is using them against us. Our own aircraft and our own missiles. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken has reportedly sent a letter to Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis proposing the handover or sale of weapons to Ukraine in exchange for Washington's $200 million aid, according to Greek publication Kathimerini. The letter states, "We continue to be interested in the defense capabilities that Greece could transfer or sell to Ukraine. If these capabilities are of interest to Ukraine, and until the US government assesses their status and value, we can explore the possibility of possible additional financing of the Greek armed forces in the amount of up to $200 million US. Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis, upon receiving the letter, described it as an important day for Greece's national defense and diplomacy. He emphasized that the letter underscores and consolidates the depth of Greek-American relations. Well, it's actually very interesting. It's a funny thing to say, and it's not to be mean to Greece because it's not about Greece or non-Greece's fault whatsoever. But the only reason the US is doing it is because our current government is stuck with the crazy far-right Republicans who are using Ukraine as a bargaining chip to what they want to get out of the democratic government, and to basically they're blackmailing the current majority government with withholding aid to Ukraine. So the reason why the US is doing it is because they're trying to find any and every loophole where they can transfer more aid to Ukraine while this entire, pardon my French, shit show is going on in the government. So yeah. In the event of Ukraine's defeat in the war with Russia, Hungary will demand Transcarpathia. The leader of the Hungarian ultra-right party, Mi Hazank, Laszlo Torocskai. Oh, hi, Katie. Hi, Marino. And hi, David. Good to see you guys, and welcome. Hi, no Aussie soldiers today. That's so funny. Yeah, no Aussie soldiers today. I love that everybody's like asking about the Aussie soldier. He is at the front, or he's on his way to the front, and I will, I will be passing along correspondence when there will be some. So, I'll keep you updated on his what's its face, on his not whereabouts, but on what's up with him. Okay, speaking at the party's annual conference in Budapest on Saturday, the leader of the party said pressure for international finance war in Ukraine, a war that would destroy Europe and send the continent's economy to the bottom. According to him, Ukraine was bought by BlackRock. So literally all the Russian propaganda talking points. The world's largest investment fund, which has more than $10 trillion at its disposal. At the same time, he noted that his party advocates an immediate ceasefire in Ukraine, peace, and negotiations. Oh, because we forgot to ask a Hungarian what we should do and whether we should negotiate or keep fighting for our freedom, and for Russia to leave us the F alone. Thanks for that. Thanks for that, Han. Also, I love that literally every conspiracy theorist and like everyone who just repeats Russian propaganda instantly saying that Ukraine was bought by BlackRock. Like, it's always BlackRock. As of October last year, Ukraine substantially reduced its export of agricultural products to EU countries, nearly returning to the pre-war levels of 2021. According to a report from the European Commission on Trade and Agricultural Products. Contrastingly, in January to October, compared to the same period the previous year, Ukraine became the third highest destination for increased exports of agricultural products from the EU, rising by 447 million euros, so a 19% increase across various product categories. During this period, exports to Ukraine reached a total value of 2.8 billion euros, making the highest level in the last 4 years. After high import indicators of agri-food products from Ukraine in the second half of 2022 and the beginning of 2023, monthly imports in September and October 23 almost returned to the level of 2021 and were nearly twice as low as in this period of 2022, stated the European Commission. German Finance Minister Lindner criticized European partners, stating that they do too little for Ukraine. I agree with you, bud, but where were you, for the past 2 years? Sort of like, why are you just speaking now? I mean, Germany did really step up help, and Germany has been, it has been really, 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 really stepping up. But it's funny because Germany wasn't stepping up before either. And so for him to like get mad now and now start saying that no one else is doing as much as Germany is doing is kind of comical. He mentioned that Germany is doing its part and is willing to mobilize further if necessary. It's acceptable for Germany to contribute more while others continue to do too little. Lindner emphasized the importance of European solidarity based on shared values and highlighted that Germany already provides half of European aid to Ukraine. He expressed the commitment to not back down from these obligations. I mean, to be fair, Germany is also has the most capability to provide all this aid, because Germany is, Germany is the wealthiest country in Europe, and Germany has the most at its disposal. Following the first meeting of the artillery coalition in Paris, France has committed to supplying Ukraine with 3,155mm caliber shells monthly for French artillery systems in use by the Ukraine.
Additionally, 8-SM hybrid bombs each month, transfer a total of 40 long-range Scalp missiles, and manufacture 78 Caesar self-propelled guns annually. Hi, I'm German. Guten Abend, wie geht's? The German company Quantum Systems has commenced the delivery of 100 Trinity tactical drones to Ukraine as agreed upon in September 2023. Ah, thank you. Thank you. That's very sweet. Vielen Dank. Ukrainian undergone training, including instructor training for the use of Trinity drones in Ukraine. Additionally, the company is supplying Ukraine with hundreds of Vector UAVs on behalf of the German government. So yeah, also today was like sort of a big day in this regard. NATO Secretary General, and that's Jens Stoltenberg, desire to invite Ukraine to full membership at a certain stage. So it is, I mean, it's strong signaling and strong messaging, right? Because we've gone from, oh, maybe one day to, hey, yes, definitely invited, but not yet. He emphasized that NATO was established to prevent war and highlighted the sovereign right of every nation, including Ukraine, to choose its own path. Stoltenberg underscored the importance of not allowing Putin to achieve his objectives in Ukraine, as it could set a precedent for other regimes, which is why Europe really needs to start thinking not like, oh, no escalation, but more so, how do we end this, especially if America continues to be the shit show it is right now. He stated that supporting Ukraine and inviting them to become a full member of the alliance at a certain stage would be beneficial for NATO and the USA. So yeah. So he's right, and I fully agree with him. Also, Germany has an excuse to rebuild its military. 300 billion is coming to Ukraine. Well, Germany got a charger. Hi, Sandberg. So Maximus on TikTok says Germany has an excuse to rebuild its military. Not good. 300 billion is coming to Ukraine, and everyone wants to be paid. So, well, here's the thing. It's not good that Germany can rebuild its military. Like, you're basically holding World War II as like a standard of why Germany shouldn't rebuild its military. Germany has a huge military industrial complex, and like, interestingly, you know, for some reason people have people had no issue with Russia, you know, having all of these nukes and developing all of these nukes, and no one was saying anything about it, right? Even though Russia was technically the good guy in World War II, which it wasn't. It was actually allied with Germany at first, but Germany is not under Hitler anymore, nor is there anything anything related to any of that regime or those ideals. The only issue in Germany that could be bad for the German military is the presence of a ton of Russians in there, like in Germany, that are still leftovers of World War II and you know, the Soviet Union and the Berlin Wall. So that's the only issue. But Germany rebuilding its military is really not an issue whatsoever. It hasn't been. Like, are you trying to say that Germany should never have a military because Hitler existed at some point? By that logic, Russia should be held on the pedestal. Yeah, also Japan is being allowed to rebuild its military, and it has been. Oh, thank you guys. You're very sweet over here on TikTok. Hi, Niels. On YouTube, I mean. Hi, Niels. Good to see you. Okay. Pro-Russian hackers from the no-name 05716 group have reportedly announced their preparation for an attack on the Ukrainian government, as per The Guardian. The publication indicates that other hacker groups, including 22C, Skillnet, Cyber Dragon, Federal Legion, People's Cyber Army, and Phoenix, might also be involved in the planned cyber attack. However, the details of the alleged attack are not specified in the message. I mean, Russian government is, Russian hackers have been, preparing these attacks many times. Russia consistently prepares attacks in Ukraine. Normally, we can fight them off, and normally we can stop them. Our hackers are actually very good too, and I think that we have done a lot more damage to Russia with cyber attacks than they have done to us. But obviously, it's never good, and it's always a risk. So yeah. So if people believe that about Germany, Russia shouldn't have a military because of Stalin. Yeah, exactly. But also Russia genuinely shouldn't have a military because look at Russia now. Also, you guys, all of you who have been asking about the Aussie soldier, well, I have interesting news for you. He's literally in the chat on TikTok. So some of you might want to download the app and go hang out with him because I don't think he has YouTube. To get her to 100K on YouTube. Well, YouTube ain't TikTok. It's not nearly as, the algorithm is different. But with me, I mean, I don't know, I I want to hang out with you. Yeah, no.